What happens when you let an AI design your dream car and then try to actually build it? Well, we wanted to find out. So we gave the AI a single prompt: design the perfect electric supercar. And what it gave us was actually pretty impressive. The real question was, how much of this car can actually be recreated? And how much would it cost? Today, we're tackling the ultimate challenge, turning an AI's fascinating car design into reality. And spoiler, it's equal parts genius and chaos. Can you bring this to real life? Let's find out. So the frame was a bit of a challenge. The AI didn't give us structural guidelines, so we modeled everything onto a digital twin of the Tesla Model S platform, which can be sourced for about 10 grand from salvage depending on the year model. For testing weight balance and layout, we use Fusion 360 and simulated chassis stress and ANSYS. To mock up the chassis, we'd go with a tubular aluminum space frame. You could build one using laser-cut parts for about $3,500 in materials. It's lightweight and widely used for EV conversions, which makes it perfect for this kind of project. Now as for the body panels, we used carbon fiber sheets from ProTech Composites and molded them around foam bucks to match the AI's lines. You could expect to spend about 6 to 8 grand for enough material to cover a full-size body. For the windows and lighting areas, we cut and shaped clear polycarbonate. It gave us that futuristic transparency without the fragility of glass. Plus, it allowed us to backlight everything without too much trouble. You're looking at around $1,200 for a full set of panels and cutting tools. Now for the wheels, the AI went with massive 22-inch turbine-style rims, clearly inspired by high-performance concepts. Sweet. So we took that design and 3D printed a prototype using ABS carbon fiber filament for under $500. It wasn't road ready, but it sure looked the part. We wrapped the mock-ups in Michelin Pilot Sport EV tires, which are very real and built specifically for the kind of torque electric motors deliver. A full set will cost you about $1,200. As for the suspension, we used an adaptive air kit from Airlift Performance for about $3,500, but pairing it with independent double wishbone arms in aluminum could run an extra 2 to 3 grand. That gave us ride height control and enough articulation to simulate what the AI had in mind. For the headlights, the AI suggested adaptive matrix LEDs with a laser accent beam, something Audi seems to already be playing with. We sourced some replica units that mimic the look and behavior for $1,500. It's not gonna blind oncoming traffic, but it'll definitely make an impression. Taillights? We wired a custom OLED-style light bar with full RGB control, just like the AI imagined. We even threw in Govee RGBIC underglow strips just to see how wild we could get. A setup like that, including controllers, wiring, and waterproof housing, would cost around $800 to $1,200. Inside, well, things got a bit ridiculous. The AI wanted a single 49-inch wraparound display on the dash. Think the Byton concept cars or an ultra-wide Samsung gaming monitor. So we mounted a $1,000 curved 4K screen on a mock dash and ran a simulated UI off a $300 Raspberry Pi 5. It's not quite Tesla grade, but hey, it works. Add another $200 to $300 for fiber optic lighting tubes running through the doors and dash synced to ambient RGB colors. The seats were racing-style buckets with vegan leather wrap and LED piping. It's so extra, but it is surprisingly comfortable. But quality is expensive, so you might be looking at a $2,000 splurge. Now the powertrain is where things got really fun. The AI spec dual-motor all-wheel drive using 2 to 4 Tesla Model 3 performance drive units. These are readily available on the EV salvage market for about $4,500 a unit, so we simulated their integration into the digital chassis using Simulink. We modeled the battery pack off a 100 kilowatt-hour Tesla module with an estimate of $13,000, or optionally, a Lucid-style 800-volt layout for 20 grand. We didn't have access to that kind of hardware, so we built a mock battery enclosure and ran simulated charge-discharge cycles through a Cascadia Motion PM100DX inverter, which goes for roughly $6,000. For charging, we included a CCS Combo 2 port with a functional interface just to future-proof the design. It won't charge this mock-up, but if this were a real build, it would. A functional charging interface would cost around $500 to $1,000. On the tech side, the AI wanted full autonomous support, LiDAR, radar, ultrasonic sensors. We 3D printed shells that resemble Velodyne and Bosch sensor units and placed them where needed. No real self-driving functionality here, but the look is accurate. The heads-up display was mocked up with a transparent $200 AR overlay projected onto the windshield. Basic, but it gave that next-gen feel we're looking for. Then it came down to the fun details. For paint finish, we're going with the gunmetal gray with an electroluminescent clear coat, so it shines and glows under different lighting. That kind of glow-in-the-dark finish isn't exactly off the shelf though. You're looking at $6 to $10 grand easily for custom paintwork and specialty materials. Looking this good ain't free. The roof was a smart tint electrochromic panel, meaning it adjusts opacity on demand. Realistically, sourcing and installing one would run you about $3,500 to $5,000, especially if it includes opacity control tech. And yes, the doors are like my favorite part. The AI went all out with either gull wings or hidden pop-out butterfly doors. We mocked up gull wing hinges for drama, even if they're not 100% functional yet. A real set would be $5,000 to $7,000 in custom engineering and hydraulic components. Definitely not cheap, but undeniably cool. And to pull this all together, we used Blender and Autodesk Fusion 360 for the design, Unreal Engine 5 for real-time lighting and reflections, and ABS carbon filament for all small part prototyping. Simulations were done in ANSYS and Simulink to test airflow and drivetrain efficiency, virtually at least. These are industry-grade tools, so expect $2,000 to $4,000 per year per license unless you're using educational or trial versions. So, could we build an AI-designed car in the real world? Kinda. A lot of it's already possible with existing tech and a big enough budget. We're talking an estimate of about 70 to 100 grand. Some parts are pure fantasy, but even those are getting closer to reality with every prototype. If you've got a wild idea for a dream car, drop it in the comments so I can see it and we might feed it to the AI next. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next build. Who knows? The next concept might come from you.